And if you believe in God's love, then you know that there's no real way to bounce back after those trials than through His love. Because resilience isn't just bouncing back, it's seeing the bigger picture in every challenge that you face. Hi, my friend. Welcome to the Bounce Back Black Woman podcast. I'm Dell, and I've overcome some of the most devastating heartbreaks I could ever have imagined. Do you find yourself stuck in sadness after a broken heart, asking God, why me? Well, I'm here to help women just like you heal and build the resilience to overcome life's greatest hurts. If you long for joy and confidence again, this podcast is for you. So grab your headphones and those heartbreaks. Let's talk. Hey there, my friend, and welcome back to Bounce Back Black Woman. In the last episode, if you'll remember, we explored levels 3 and 4 from Bruce Schneider's Energy Leadership Framework. And those levels were that of tolerations and gratitude. And like I mentioned in the episode last time, this framework has been so transformative for me personally that my endorsement is actually printed in the second edition of Bruce's book. And I use it in my own coaching practice through the Energy Leadership Assessment. I also use it in my own life to assess when it might serve me to shift energy levels for different situations. So as we move forward into learning more about energy levels 5 and 6, just know that these are not only concepts for me. They're actually tools that I carry with me every day in various situations, in how I talk to myself, how I show up for others, how I think about the future. And as you might remember from grade school science class, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed or converted into a different form. And this actually applies to your energy as well. So we're going to talk about that as we move today even higher into understanding levels 5 and 6. Those levels are represented by purpose and synthesis. The places where resilience becomes more than just personal, but actually becomes transformational. And we'll even briefly touch on level 7, which is known as Detached Involvement. Now, energy level 7 is really the highest energy level, and it's the most challenging of all the principles to understand, while at the same time being the highest form of consciousness that there is. More on that in a little bit. I want to share a story. I remember the season right after Leon died. And for those of you who don't remember or haven't heard that episode, Leon was my second husband, and he died shortly after we were married, right before my 50th birthday. Well, right after he died, everything around me felt unstable. Work, relationships, even my health. At the time, I didn't feel like I had a clear, polished why. I didn't have the answer to why about a lot of things, including why was I still here? Why was I being expected to figure all this out and move on? What I felt at that time was this deep call, though, to press on, to be a role model for my girls, to honor my mom's memory and the struggles that she faced in her own life and marriage, and to be a role model for people who were watching and learning and struggling and supporting. And if you believe in God's love, then you know that there's no real way to bounce back after those trials than through His love. Because resilience isn't just bouncing back, it's seeing the bigger picture in every challenge that you face. So fast forward to the fall of last year, right after I was no longer in a job that was all wrong for me. It had taken its toll on my physical and my mental health, to be completely honest. And after that job ended, which is another story for another day, I started to notice something even deeper. And that was how everything in my life, the wins and the losses, all seemed to be connected. And that's when I began living more in the energy of synthesis, where I was looking for the lessons and the threads and the way that things worked together for my good. Now, you've probably heard many times me mention a phrase of ruthless intentionality. And that phrase is a lifeline for me. It's now my trademark, legally. But anyway, ruthless intentionality means deciding not only how you live, but why you live that way. You see, your life should always be a reflection of your personal values. Because if it isn't, then what are you even doing? How are you even living? And more importantly, why? Your life being a reflection of your personal values matters. And why it matters is actually for your own resilience. When you know why you're here, you feel purpose in your choices, your interactions, your growth. And then when purpose becomes your anchor, you're so much better equipped to face hardship with the reassurance that your trials are not random, that they're not wasted, but instead they're being sent to you as part of a bigger story, maybe one even bigger than yourself. Jeremiah 29:11 says this, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope." And if God didn't plan to give you a future, there'd be no need for him to take you through trials, because those trials are meant to stretch and grow and prepare you for that very future. So here are some examples to bring this concept to life. Continuing to serve others, even when you're walking through your own personal trials. Building something meaningful instead of chasing quick successes. Or choosing work that aligns with your values, even when that might be harder. So here's a question I want you to ask yourself. If I could focus on one thing for the next year, what would matter most? That's not really an easy question to answer. So you'll have to take some time and sit with it. And then, of course, I'm going to tell you, I want you to journal what comes up for you when you sit with that. Give it some time. Pray and ask God to show you the answer to that question. You might just be surprised. So when we move from level 5 into level 6 energy, level 6 energy is considered synthesis as part of Bruce's framework. And synthesis is the ability to see connection and possibility in everything. And that includes the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when you're tuned into the concept of synthesis, you're better able to recognize that even challenges can lead to growth, and that there are often multiple wins that can be hidden in the exact same situation. And it's this that matters for resilience. You see, my friend, synthesis keeps you from seeing life as a me versus them or a win versus lose. And instead, you start seeing opportunities and partnerships and solutions that serve everyone involved, including yourself. So here's an example. If you haven't listened to my episode where I talked about being in the relationship with the narcissist, That one could have taken me out, but it didn't. And I began to stop looking at it as a me versus him or me versus the situation. And I started looking at it as this was an opportunity for me to learn a very valuable, although costly, lesson so that I could never make those mistakes again. And I could choose better for myself, all of which grew me into a bigger and better person. Romans 8:28 says that, and we know God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love him. Everything to work together, my friend. And when I say everything, and that scripture says everything, that includes the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the painful, and the sad, and the hard, and the joyous, and the sacred. So, here are some examples of that scripture at work. Number 1, turning a corporate setback into a chance to pivot towards something better. Number 2, reframing a disagreement as a chance to deepen understanding. Number 3, recognizing how an ending in one area opens the door to another. Sometimes new things have nowhere to enter your life until you purge some of the old things that are no longer serving you. And whether that's a relationship or a job or a hobby or a fixation or a simply bad habit, you need to be able to clear the space for a new door to open. And sometimes God will clear that space for you. So here's a thought I want you to ponder. Think about a current challenge that you're facing or having, and ask yourself this question. Where could there be a hidden win in this whole big mess? And then journal about it. So friends, level 7 is the last level of the 7 levels of energy that Bruce writes about. And to be quite honest, level 7 energy is a space of complete non-attachment and pure joy in the experience itself. Without judgment, without fear, without ego. It's really near impossible to live or be at this level 7 energy in our human life. Moments of it can be there, but we as humans are just too human to be able to stay or spend much time at level 7 energy. But the few moments of it that we have or are given can be powerful reminders of what true alignment feels like. I liken that kind of energy, that kind of non-attachment and pure joy to what it must feel like when we go on to heaven, where there is no more pain and there is no more sorrow and everything is just pure good. And that's why we as humans struggle to stay for any length of time at level 7. So, if you want to learn more about these 7 levels of energy, definitely check the show notes. You can find the copy of Bruce's book there and maybe read and learn a little bit more about it. I'd love to hear if you do decide to dive in deeper. What kinds of things resonate with you when you read the book? So here's a faith reflection to guide your journaling, because you didn't think I was going to let you off the hook for journaling this week, did you? Jeremiah 29:11. God's plans are always purposeful, even when we can't see the full picture. Journal prompt: where might I be missing the full picture of what I'm going through right now? In Romans 8:28, everything, the good, the hard, and the unexpected, can work together for our good when we trust Him. And the prompt would be, where do I need to trust Him more so that the missing pieces can come together? I want to close with this, my friend. Without purpose, we drift. We drift through life. Without synthesis, we can miss the beauty of how God works all things together, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Both of those leave us feeling disconnected from hope and peace. But resilience is trusting that your story has meaning and that God is truly weaving all of the threads together for your growth. And when you live your life on purpose, even the detours become part of the plan. So, friend, I want to share with you this last piece of the podcast today. If you're not on my newsletter list yet, now is the perfect time to join. You can join through the link in the show notes, or you can go to the website at bouncebackblackwoman.com and sign up there. I am giving away 5 free Bounce Back companion journals to new subscribers that do so before Sunday night, August 17th at midnight. And I'll be drawing randomly from all of the people that sign up by that point. And friend, just know that the journal giveaway is an added bonus. The weekly emails are where the truth and the challenge actually come in, including some not spoken about on the podcast insights from me and a glimpse into my life these days when I'm not on the mic. So definitely sign up today or before Sunday night, and you could be one of the 5 winners of a new journal. Well, that's it for today, my friend. I really hope this episode inspired, encouraged, or just plain comforted you. If so, please share it with a friend who might be struggling in her own healing journey. And if you take a moment to leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts, you'll help other women find encouragement through their heartbreak. Remember that God is holding your hand along this journey, and guess what? I'm holding the other. Life is short, so bounce back, Black woman.